and the recording is for the purpose of leaving a trail, a trail of what happened here, and that we can be referencing it in the future when you need to look back at it for anything that we talked about here, for anything that unfolded, and also for the possibility of other people who are also on this journey. And I'm talking about the journey of edge working, the journey of people who are also visionaries, people who are at the edge of the modern culture, finding their way and discovering things as they go. So for trailblazers, a lot of the time there is not a pathway ahead. It's like you are at the edge of something that hasn't been discovered yet. You are at the edge of a new space, and you are working with that, unfolding that void that is in there from something that you carry inside of you from your own life calling. And this is one of the things that inspired me or motivated me to say, I want to do this work talk. I want to do a work talk on centering, grounding, and creating your bubble of space. As I scan the space right now, I see that there is people from all uh, different places where I met. There's people that I've known, that I work with in person, which I'm really excited about to have here. And there is people that I work with online that I have actually never met, and I'm really excited to be here, unfolding and holding space for a tool that really it changed my life. It changed the way that I show up in the world. It changed the way that I related with the people that I'm collaborating with, and it changed the way that I hold myself, from the way that I relate with myself and I relate with the world. And I want to ask, Skylar, is it possible for you to turn on your camera?
So I might try the camera, but I'm in a really weak spot.
Okay,
And
okay,
that's why I have
so
the camera off, but I will turn it on at some point.
okay, yeah, it's so that we get to see you, to get the experience of you more than just the voice, and it's there you go. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Super. So I invite everyone to take a deep breath and arrive into this space, which is going to be an experiential space. This is going to be a space of really getting into the sensation in all of your different bodies about what is like. Where are you right now? Where is your center right now? How are you uh, connected with this place where you are standing on right now? So it's gonna be a space where that I invite you to notice, how are you noticing? For you to notice, what are you noticing with? And for you to start being in that place of researching with this question of where is my center right now? And for most of us that were raised in modern culture, our center a lot of the time is in our head. It's in our thinking. We're thinking about stuff, and there's so much thinking and reasoning and judgment and stories, and it goes on really fast. And right now, with the technology that we have in our hands, with all the social media and all of the different inputs that we have from everywhere, is stimulating so much of the our mental body, and our mental body gets overstimulated in this place where it almost is like being in a movie theater where all you can see is the movie, but you are not seeing. the thing that is sitting on the theater, which is like all the other bodies, your physical body, your emotions, your feelings, your energetic body, about this thing of you that has energy and that has capacity to send attention, to use attention. So part of this process will be starting noticing where your attention is. This will be your research. Something that you get from here is starting noticing what you are noticing with. So start noticing where are you putting your attention and being on that research. And here in this space, there is a way that you're using your attention right now, and 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 this the way that you're using your attention, it's already manifesting, or let's say another word, it's creating, is you're finding the evidence of what you are looking for already. So I want to take a pause to start noticing, for all of us to notice right now what's happening with our attention. Before I came here, as I was starting, as it was starting to get closer to getting to this workshop, I noticed like, okay, this workshop already started, and I noticed that my attention was going to different places. I was feeling scared. I was feeling really like, oh my God, the workshop is coming. There is 8 people that are gonna come, and I was feeling scared, and I was noticing my attention going to all of you, like wondering, are you gonna make it? Are you gonna be here? Are you? Is it? How is it gonna go? Am I gonna fuck it up? Am I gonna say the wrong thing? And I realized like, oh, okay, that this research is started already. It started here, and it started with this question. Oh, my center. I noticed my center is going away to places to see what's. I mean, yeah, just noticing the movement of my center going to different places, and it was probably something like that for you too. For you to be here, you have to already have some of your center. For you to say, I want to be in that workshop. I want to, I'm gonna send a message to register, and I'm gonna put it on the calendar. I'm gonna make the payment. I'm gonna show up, and all of you were able to do that. All of you did that, and this is a way that it tells me that you have already been working with your center, working with holding, like using your energy in a way that you create the results in your life that you want to create. So I want to open up the space and hear from a few people about what is your necessity for being here, what brings you here, what called you to say, I want to be in a work talk about learning and practicing how to center, become grounded, and become present or bubble. So I want to open the space for anybody who has the impulse to speak. Why are you here? What brings you here?
Okay, I will speak.
Go.
Um, yeah, so when I found out about your workshop and it was about centering and, like as a and the tools that you would share with us on how to find um and how to be able to activate this like thing that we all have inside of ourselves to find results. Yeah, I was really interested because actually I've noticed this experientially throughout like my aware, I guess, like, years of being a human on this planet, that when I have my center, like you said, and I'm not distracted and it's not here, but actually I find that my center, it's really beautiful. I can be an observer of myself, and at the same time, like in my heart, and then at the same time I can adapt and like create the reality around me,
Around
like
me, like
co-create. Yeah, it's been like the most successful times I've had as a human being, and the times when I'm not on my center, it's been like it's been a lot of heartbreak, actually, because then I wonder what's how and why, and it gets very frustrating and very um yeah, and then I get like fearful of like what's happening around me in my life. And so I think this is such a like it's such a key thing, and I do believe this so many different ways that people have experienced and taught it. And I was just really interested to find out what you would have to say on it.
Thank you, Jackie.
Mhm. Thank you.
I'm here because yeah, when I saw the invitation for this workshop, it immediately kind of talked to me, because I've been noticing how much I care about others, what others think, and how much my decisions or not making decisions depend on my, I guess, desire for validation or just others. So it's like, yeah, I'm giving really part of myself to others. And also, I've been noticing how when I make decision, often I'm making decisions out of, out of fear or out of some other emotion, and not really from, okay, this is what I really want to do.
And will you say, Svetlana, how does that happen? How does that happen that you give, that you adapt to others, that you yeah, that you give your center to others?
I think I constantly scan, like it's scanning the process. Like I scan around, and then there's this notion in me about giving and taking, that it should be equal, right? Like,
Yeah.
so if I give to this give, then like, so I'm constantly like in this, okay, if I give too much, like something is wrong, right? And then, but that's like orientation outside, right? This orientation putting outside.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, there is this, that's a very key term for me, distinguishing that when my center is outside and if there's something else that's telling me how to be in a space or how to make a decision, that there is that outside, that I'm making my decisions based on the outside, and that's an indicator for me when I'm off my center. I'm already reactive. I'm not responding. I'm reacting, not creating. I'm reacting to what's out there. Anyone else would like to share?
I can share.
Just a few more.
At this time in my life, like the inner research and the inner reflection really stood out for me. But it really comes because, again, at my age and everything, as long as I've been on this planet, the visionary side, the trailblazer, and the paradigm shifters, those words really stuck out for me. And I'm a futurist, so I can always just see the future and envision the future, but it's about getting grounded right here in the now so that that can happen. And that's the part that I've been lacking, that I want to focus on. So thank you for this, sorry.
Thank you, Lori. Yeah, and you can leave it unmuted, because this is like this is a space of also of collaboration and of really speaking when something comes up for you. It's like I'm not gonna be the teacher or the guru. Like I'm here equally as an explorer, as an adventurer, also in this life. And yeah, and I hear that you have been putting that you it's easier that you have been orientating your life to living in the future. That you are a futurist. You envision, you see how you see project yourself into the future, and that leaves you and not no room for being present.
Yeah.
And 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 I heard you say that you this is what you're working on, something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. So this timing was really, really good for me.
Mm. So, will you say what has been where are you at right now? What are you doing any practices? Are you facing any challenges
Mm,
with?
I'm the challenge that I am facing a little bit is my business partner decided to step away from the company that we started a few years ago. And now I'm stepping in because I know what I want. I know what I want to go forward with. But there's the sides of the business that I don't know. And I've just realized that I have to step into trusting in that higher power and trusting in my own intuition in the decisions that I'm going to make and the people that I'm going to surround myself with. That's probably a big part of it is the people I'm going to surround myself with. So the same stuff doesn't continue to happen.
I have this question as you're here, you're describing this the way that you're gonna show up in the for your business, the way that you're gonna be. Uh, I have like you're going to show up. You're going to find other people to surround yourself with,
Mhm.
and so are these things in your business that are right now, are they part of this thing that you for you to need to be grounded, to need
Mhm.
to be more present?
Yeah. Yeah. And more focused.
Mm-hmm.
And more focused. Yeah. I do
Okay.
a practice. I've really been working on it for the last few years, but I just want to learn more about getting grounded.
Would you say, I have this question, will you say what happens when you are not grounded? What is the problem when you're not being grounded?
I think what happens for me when I'm not grounded is just so many things. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, look at that. We can look at that. Look at that. And so it's not allowing me to focus on what really matters for the bigger picture. Because I know there's something bigger there. Like I said, the word paradigm shifters just resonated with me when I saw that word because of the shift that's going on in the planet right now. And I want to be totally ready for that in my own being so that I can guide and help the people that I need to work with.
Yeah. Well, that's the work that's happening here. And in a way, like I want to say that you, from following your work and what you've been doing from the little I've seen from your work, is that you are a paradigm shifter. Like you are in many ways a trailblazer, and that you are at that edge of like creating and being in this exploration of what is unfolding, what is happening, uh, and I see that. uh, yeah.
Can can I say something?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I really resonated with when you said, the key being like you felt like you to trust your own intuition. And that is such a thing that we're all learning and living, like, how like we're constantly, I guess, yeah, what's the word, being met with that, how to trust our own intuition. And actually, before I also came in this phone call, I was also thinking about business and who to surround myself with and all this stuff. And it was interesting actually today because I said a very and so for me, I closed some doors and it actually allowed me to feel my own boundary again in a very healthy way, and then I heard my own intuition actually for the first time in maybe like, yeah, a month or so. And so I think Yeah, so it's interesting, right? Like these experiences we go through and how to trust our own intuition, because when we can do that, then we can respond to anything that comes up, you know, not just specific like challenges in business and stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I want to open up this space for maybe like 2 more minutes of bringing in what you're here for, just so that we can fill up this space with the necessity, and it's already getting to that space where you are resonating with what other people are sharing, and these are all things that we are all working on. And so in a way, maybe not everybody's going to share, but and it's already very relevant to some of the experiences that you're having.
I'll
So
share. I'll share. Yeah, I've been working on being present and centered and coming from my center and just having my attention there as much as possible. It's kind of been my goal for like a decade now, maybe. And it's very like any kind of meditation where you're there sometimes and drift off into outer space and then come back and do that a million times. But um, I guess I've been wanting to be there a bit more permanently, coming from that place. And yeah, you're doing exactly what I want to do this new year. And I liked working with you before. So that's what brings me here. And it's interesting. The timing for me of this is like, well, I didn't actually notice the time was this late, and I'm in Nova Scotia right now. So it's like getting close to midnight, and like I didn't have a lot of sleep. So I was encountering all this resistance to coming here. But now that I'm here, I'm realizing and feeling all this like tiredness and stuff like that, but then still being centered. It's like that's a great practice. It's gonna help me. Even just that, that's what I really, when I need to be centered is when these like challenging situations are coming that would like make it maybe more difficult or something like that. It's like that's really what I need to unlock next is staying centered in like stressful and difficult and uncomfortable situations. So happy to be here.
I want to say something to that. Thank you, Dominic, for sharing. Uh, and it's that we live in a world right now where most people are not centered. Most people have their energetic center in place in their head, and this is the orientation of most of the people out there. And so the work that we're doing here is right on the edge of going what is beyond that, what is beyond having your center here in your head, what is beyond reason, what is beyond all of the stories that I have about myself, what is beyond all of the stories that I have about the world, about you, about me, because that is all happening in the mental body. So it's very rare to go into a space out there where you find something that is not stuff that's happening on the head. It's all stuff that's feeding and feeding and feeding the ego or the head, your comfort zone, feeding your beliefs, feeding your stories, and it's a machine that is running at such a high speed that it that there's that it doesn't leave space for anything else. So as we're entering into this into this workshop and into this like the meat, and okay, like this is center, this is what it could be like to be surrounded by other people who are centered, then you start getting that sense that there is something else, that being centered it originates in somewhere else other than your head. Because a lot of the practices that I see out there are this meditation based, and it's all about kind of like bringing this peace and calm, and everything is okay, and you're relaxed and you're peaceful, and it's kind of a way of turning off. It's a way of putting yourself to sleep. So I think that from my experience is that being centered originates in a different place, and it's a place where you can be active, you can be talking, you can be alive, you can be feeling, you can be alive, you can be uh, expressing, and it's not always peaceful, or it's not always like this nice funny thing or peaceful thing. It's somewhere that comes from your own being. It's your authentic expression. and and when I, yeah, like there is not a lot of spaces out there where you can like be, you cannot go into a coffee shop and find people who are centered. It's like the context of the coffee shop already by default is a mental space. It's a space of relating from the normal mental space. Like, how are you? How are you doing? I'm fine. Oh, look at the weather. The weather is nice. and it doesn't work with this part of you who that is extraordinary, that is an energetic being of light, of immense genius. So so I just want to, this is why you are an edge walker, this is why you are a paradigm shifter, this is why you are a trailblazer, because you are here in this place of how can I be centered in the midst of being in a culture or a context that promotes not being centered, or that encourage me not to be centered, that encourage me to fall asleep, or to put my center in my head, to kind of like justify, lie to myself, lie to others, uh, hide, sneak, and it really is that place that is the context out there, that is the default context. So until you don't declare your own context where you live in, that you say the context where I live in does not allow for me to be centered in my head. The context where I live in, I am centered, and I hold my center regardless of what other context is happening out there. And this is a skill. This is a skill that starts exactly with what we're doing here today. This is a skill that starts with centering, bringing your center, bring your grounding, and taking care of your personal space, which is your bubble of space. So I want to jump into the actual practice. This I want to say a little bit about where this came from, because I didn't come up with this. I learned about this from a game world called Possibility Management. 3 years ago, I was like completely lost, completely like very much not knowing where to go next, and a lot of my projects were failing, and the community that I was trying to build was not working. So then I found these tools, and one of the first one, actually the foundation of these tools was first position, was called first position. And first position is like in martial arts, in Aikido, for example, or in karate, you have a position, a place of balancing or centering yourself, where you land in your body, where you are present and you are engaged fully with the thing that you are doing. You can also find this in the ballerinas, like when the ballerinas and flamenco dancers, they have a first position. Uh, uh, Also, like woodworkers, they have this like first position where they're like into the wood, and they're working into the wood, and they're completely grounded into what they're doing. So just like, so the first position for an edge worker, or for a trailblazer, for a visionary, is this one, is this practices that we're going to be practicing here today. And I would encourage you to practice this as much as you can. When I first started, I was practicing this 10 times a day. I had a timer in my phone, and I encourage you to actually make this as an experiment, if you like, that you put a timer in your phone every hour, every 2 hours, that reminds you where is your center, or get into first position. So first position is this skill, is a skill that starts practicing, that allowed me to start bringing in more of my energy into myself, more of my attention, and I started becoming more grounded with the earth, and becoming more aware about how my energetic body is interacting with the other world, with the outside world. And I want to say to that Nicole Haldry Bradford, who's here in this call, she's been a mentor for me in this field for like the last 3 years. She was one of the person that I've been training with and has been mentoring me in this. And so I'm really honored that you're here, Nicole. I'm really happy that you came. And yeah, we have been training into becoming first position, and holding a context for a culture where you relate with one another from first position, that there is no slipping out of it, there is no sneaking out of it. When you're relating with somebody that's not in first position, you say, where is your center? Why? I don't want your center. I don't want you to give me your authority. Your authority is your authority, so you keep your authority. So the first position practice starts developing that sensitivity to what is going on in your energetic body. How is your attention going out? For me, it goes out in form of tentacles. It goes out in the form of tentacles, and it works different for everybody. But you start developing that sensitivity to how other people's energy is coming into your energy, and how your energy is coming to other people's energy. So this is what gets developed from working in first position. And I want to jump into actually going through the steps of first position. And first position is the basic steps of first position is the 3 steps that I told you about: centering, becoming center, becoming grounded, and declaring your bubble of space. So if you can practice these 3 steps every day for a week, at least like 3 to 10 times a day, checking with yourself and doing this practice, you will start gaining so much awareness about your energy, other people's energy, and the way that you're grounded with the earth. Are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I want to invite you to take a big, deep breath of air. And empty your hands for now. Sit yourself in a comfortable position. If you can, put your feet on the earth, on the ground. And if you can, have your feet without shoes, without socks, so that your feet can touch the ground. And you can put your hands on your lap and continue breathing, continue taking deep breaths. And start noticing, and you can do this with your eyes closed or your eyes open, however you like. I recommend that if you want this to be a more inner journey, to keep your eyes closed so you can pay attention to what's happening inside of you. And start noticing where you are. Start noticing the way that your body, your physical body, is showing up. Start noticing your physical body, your legs, your feet, your hands. Notice the surface of your skin being touched by the wind, by the air. Noticing the your hairs, wherever your body is tense or it has some tension. And for right now, just notice it. There is no need to change anything about it. Just noticing how your body is showing up in this moment, your physical body, because you have 5 bodies. This is something that we don't get told in modern culture. And we're gonna go in a journey through these 5 bodies to discover how we're showing up in these bodies. So notice your your physical body is made out of your bones, your tissues, your skin, your organs, your eyes, your blood. Just notice how all of this is showing up in the space right now. You can say thank you to your body and move your attention next to your next body, and your next body is your mental body. How is your mental body right now? How is it showing up? Your mental body is made out of stories, conclusions, judgments, concepts, ideas, expectations. And this is where a lot of edge workers and visionaries, where their center is, we're very, very active in the mental body. Your mental body is what creates the distinctions, is what able to start screening the distinctions between day and night, between mom and dad, between your hands and your feet, between black and white. Your mental body has all of these distinctions, and each one of you has a different mental body, a mental body that has expertise in certain areas, in certain fields. You have distinctions in some fields that nobody else in the world has. So the mental body is something that grows with you. As you come into this world, your mental body grows the same as your physical body. So just notice how you are showing up. What is your mental body doing right now? What is it? What stories it's carrying? What is it noticing? And the same with the purpose of noticing. You don't need to change anything about it right now. Next, we move on your attention to your emotional body. You also have an emotional body, which is made out of your feelings. Your feelings of, and I work with the feelings of anger, sadness, fear, and joy. So you have an emotional body, and the center of your emotional body is in your heart, in your chest. You can start noticing how is your emotional body right now. What are you experiencing in your emotional field? Is it joy? Is it sadness? Is it anger? Is it fear? Is it a mix of those? This is one of the bodies that gets ignored or abused or mistreated in modern culture in the way that we were raised. So just take a moment to be with this body, to acknowledge it and say, just be present that I have feelings, you have feelings. And your feelings are they're a compass to your connection with spirit, to your connection with God, with life, with source. Your your emotions are, you're always feeling something. There is always something that you're feeling at a different percentage levels. And these feelings, they can be They can be pure anger, for example, or they can be mixed. They can be mixed with different feelings. You can be mixing anger and sadness, or anger and joy. There are different feelings. So just notice right now how you are feeling, what is happening in your emotional body. And it's through these feelings and this body that a lot of that our center can start becoming more into alignment. This is your fear will tell you that you are alive, that you are present. We're gonna move on to the next body is your energetic body. And your energetic body has this capacity to split, to move, to grow, to expand, to take space, to have an awareness about the spaciousness, what is mine and what is yours. And this energetic body has a mass. It can be in the past, or it can be in the future. It can be in ideas, in concepts. It can be in other people. Your center can go into other people. Your center can go into a memory. So your center has this capacity, your energetic center has this capacity to move to different places, abstract and physical, conceptual. And take a moment to notice where your energetic center is right now. How much of your energetic center is in the past? How much of your energetic center is somewhere in the future? How much of your energetic center is in your partner, or in your strategy, or in your children, or in your ideas of what you're gonna eat after you're done this workshop? So we're gonna work right now with this body, this energetic body, and you are going to start using your intention to bring this energetic body into a small here and now. And what I mean with a small here and now is this small here and now, this constant present that is regenerating in every moment. This constant moment that is happening now and now, 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 now. So bring all of your energetic body, wherever it is that you have your energetic bodies, move your energetic bodies to this present here and now, and form them in front of you in the form of a ball. So for this part, you're not just gonna notice your energetic body, but you're gonna be working with it. You're gonna be moving it. You're gonna be using your intention to move your energetic body to create a ball in front of you, made out of all of your energy. The whole allotment of your energy, of your life force, is going to be focused that into a sphere in front of you. You can use your hands too if you want to bring this energetic energy from the past, from your head, from the roots, from wherever, and form it into a ball of energy. Make a ball of energy in front of you. You can use your intention. You will use your intention to do this. Wherever you're putting your attention, that's where the energy goes. So putting your attention in that place brings all of your energy. So focusing your attention on this precise moment here and now, in this space, right now, 3 seconds. 3 seconds small space. There is no stories, there is nothing else other than your energy coming into a center. When you have your center placed in front of you, use your hands to bring that center slowly and gently into the center of your physical body. So you're gonna bring your energy in the energetic center, that ball that you made, into your physical body, located in the center of your physical body, in between your hips, 3 fingers below the belly button. This is where your physical center is, of your physical body, your point of balance. And you're gonna allow all of that energy to land in your body, for your energy to inhabit your physical body, for your energetic center to be in alignment with your physical body. And this is an experience. This is not a theory. This is really a visceral experience of bringing in your energy from wherever it's at into your physical body, and allowing that energy, allowing yourself to become alive from having that energy, from having all of that energy. And I invite you to take a picture of yourself right now. This is you center. This is you aligning your energy with your physical center. This is you in your power, having all of that energy in your center, aligned with your physical body. It creates a result that it is you being centered, you inhabiting fully on your body, your physical body. This is the first step. This is the step of becoming centered. It's bringing your energy, accumulating it into a condensed ball of energy, and placing it into your physical center, aligning your energy with your physical center. And the purpose for placing it in the center of your body is because that is the center mass of your body. That is your activation point. That is where your body is powerful. Going back to the martial arts analogy, this is where the martial artists originate from. You can imagine if a martial artist puts their center on their head, their fighting style will be very different, and I don't think it will be very effective. So placing it in the center of your physical body creates that embodiment, like full-on embodiment of your body, where finally your energy can take space in your body and breathe and be. And it's a constant renewal of your bringing in your energy into a small here and now. Small here and now and the thing about the small here and now is that stories are too big for small here and now. Any story is too big for the present. Any story is too big for the present. So in the present moment, the real present moment, there is no stories. No stories at all. So once at your center, we're gonna move on to the next step. The next step is getting grounded. So now you have your center. I invite you to stay there as much as you can in your center. You stay there. You really foster that. Take a picture of that sensation that you have right now. And that from there, you use your clicker, which is your hand clicks, your snapping of your fingers, which is a tool to disrupt the soundscape of the space. And you use that to declare a grounding cord. Declare a grounding cord from the center of your physical body into the center of the earth. So from that center that you placed in your physical center, a grounding cord drops to the center of the earth. and it's about 5 centimeters diameter, and it's flexible, and it has a certain quality. It has a quality. It has a, f- a color. It has a texture. So at the count of three, use your clicker, your finger snap to declare a grounding cord to the bottom of the earth, and say the color of the grounding cord. So it has a color. So 1, 2, 3, and it's blue.
Cool.
You can say it out loud.
Right.
Blue as well.
Thank you.
Yellow.
Thank you. Your grounding cord is your connection with the earth, and it's a two-way connection. Right now you're standing on this planet. We're all standing on this planet that has been nourishing us, and that is nurturing our being, and it has been feeding us since we were born into this place. And she's an intelligent being, and you can connect directly with this massive source of energy and resources that the planet Earth is. You can connect with her. I call her Herb, and it's a preference. I don't think it has a specific sex. Where you can ask questions, you can receive energy from planet Earth, and you can send energy, excess of energy, and send questions and information to Gaia, to the planet Earth. This is your connection with the planet that you're in. This is the grounding. This is the grounding that she is holding you. And if you don't believe me, you can stand up and jump. There is a natural attraction of your being and her being that will bring you right down. It's called gravity. You will be pulled right back down, and this is the proof that you have a grounding cord. You have a grounding cord that connects you with the planet Earth, and you can consciously declare it with a click of your fingers and see it. Notice the quality of your grounding cord. What's happening in your grounding cord? What happens when you move? What happens when you pluck it? You can pluck it like a guitar string. You can literally move your hands and put it in between your legs and pluck it, and see if it changes color, if it vibrates, if it becomes more alive, if Gaia says something. And this is a connection that the more you foster, the more you receive that support, that connection. Gaia is a resource that can give you jobs and can give you lots of energy and information to hold space, to take a stand for the things that you care about, and to give you information about where humans are at in their evolutionary journey, where you're at in your evolutionary journey too. This is your grounding cord. Now, let's move on to the next step. This is, you became centered, you move your energetic center into your physical center, and you brought them into alignment. Now from there, you declared your grounding cord, which is dropping a grounding cord to the center of the earth. And we were going to move on to the next step, which is declaring your bubble of space. And you have a bubble of space around you. And you can use this also declaring with your fingers, with your snapping of your fingers. I'm going to call it clicker from now on. With your clicker, you can declare that you have a bubble of space around you. And this is a bubble of space that is made from your magnetic field, if you would like scientific terms. And this is your luminescence. This is the movement of your different organs, the vibration of your heart, combined with the vibration of your stomach, the vibration of your lungs as they breathe in and out, the vibration of your brain cells like shooting out in different ways. Your voice, it even affects your bubble of space. And this is the bubble of space around you. This is your energetic egg. Some other modalities, they call it your aura. So you can see your aura. And the more you start tuning in with this, you can start noticing where's your energetics, your energetic bubble at this point. So go ahead and at the count of three, we're all gonna declare our bubble of space. 1, 2, 3. You have a bubble of space. And this bubble of space, it clears a clear distinction between you and the other beings out there, between you and anything else that is not you. It creates a distinction that is not a wall, it's not a barrier, although it can be configured that way. But it is not, that's not its purpose. Its purpose is not to separate you from the others and to keep you isolated. And it is a layer of distinction that this is me, this is you. This is my feelings, those are your feelings. These are my thoughts, those are your thoughts. This is my archetypal lineage thoughts, these are my thoughts. And it creates that very clear distinction of your being, and it allows from this place you can work with more clarity with the world. If you're an energy worker, you get you're sensitive to other people's energies, and then all of other people's energies are gonna get mixed up with your energies. If you don't have clarity about your bubble of space and what's happening in your bubble of space, then all of these energies, they're just gonna come and go. People are gonna pull from you. You're gonna be pulling from people without really being aware of what's going on. So working with your bubble of space and cultivating that is that way of getting more aware about how are you interacting with the world and how is the world interacting with you. So for now that you have your bubble of space, use your hands to feel the edges of your bubble of space. Put out your hands to sense where are the edges of your bubble of space. They can be, are they at arm length or are they really close to you? Do you notice any interesting things around do you notice any holes or any protuberance, any different textures, any different colors, even temperatures? Sometimes you might be scanning your bubble of space and you might feel different temperature in some places.
Mm. That's funny. When you told us when you invited us to click our fingers, I actually naturally, after that, automatically wanted to like feel my energy bubble. Yeah, it was so like natural to be like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That tells me that you have been practicing your bubble of space, Jackie.
At some
You
point.
have some awareness. Okay. So the yeah the so is the more you practice this bubble of space, your bubble of space is because in modern another thing is that in modern culture we don't get taught to take care of our space. It's almost like we get taught to let anybody in our bubble of space, and that if we are protecting our bubble of space, we are bad. If you are protecting your bubble of space, you are someone that's like inhumane almost. Like, oh, you're inhumane because you're not letting me manipulate you. You're not letting me touch you. So as I've been experimenting with this, and as probably as you're gonna experiment with this, you might start noticing that you become more sensitive to how people are using their energy. Are they using their energy to try to like pull the strings inside of you, and what are they doing with their energy? And you start becoming more aware of it, and how much of it goes unconscious, unsaid, and unspoken. So you start becoming more aware about, yeah, like your bubble and what's happening inside of there. So I want to finish up this practice by saying these are the 3 steps. Those are the 3 steps: becoming center in your physical body, grounding yourself to the earth, and declaring your bubble of space. Take a picture of your first position right now. This is your first position. Whatever you are doing right now, this is your first position. So you can take a picture of it, an energetic picture, and discover, okay, this is where I'm at. And whenever you're ready, take a deep breath, and slowly and at your own time, come back into connection with the space and see if you can stay center while you stay in connection with others here in the space. Welcome. Welcome to the centering, grounding, and bubbling workshop. I'm glad that you're here. I feel sad that I didn't get to see Skylar or Campbell if they did the practice. Um, would anybody like to share anything that you notice in your practice? What did you notice in this process of becoming center? Even if you have done this 1,000 times, if you've done this many, many times, this is a practice that continues evolving with time, and there is no like level of expertise. It's always there is a new edge of learning. So if you have something that came up for you, will you share it? Let's have a few sharings.
I feel like I notice when I'm out of the stories in my head, instead of focusing so much on the mental being there, the center being there in the mental, and then like centering and then grounding, and then feeling my energy bubble actually feels a lot clearer, where there isn't, where I'm actually just kind of here and present, but I can, it feels like I would be able to authentically speak from my heart. Be able to express from the heart. That's what it feels like for me. Yeah.
Awesome. That's gonna be our next experiment. So thank you. Thanks for opening it up. Anyone else would like to share how it was for them?
It was really helpful for me to bring this energy literally into the ball, like the ball, before I put this in. Because for me, this has been challenge, kind of like collecting my energy, as I have been doing this practice for a little bit. And so just like literally, like I said, bring it into the ball and put it, I found this helpful. And also today my bubble, I've made it really small, because I think before I've been experimenting with the size of the bubble. And I think the smaller I make it, the more I become like, this is me, this is my space.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Svetlana. I appreciate you sharing. One more sharing.
I have something. I've been doing a little thing that I want to tell about, which is that before I set my grounding cord, I look with my energetic eyes to see how distinct my grounding cord is before I redeclare it. And this has been a pretty cool thing to kind of check in with. How much did I lose? How much did I lose the distinction of my grounding cord? since I centered last and grounded last. And same with my bubble of space, to kind of go before I set it or reset it, and I go, how much is it still there? And this is not imagining things. This is an energetic distinction. It exists energetically. It exists, and so this has been a new kind of part of my experiment to see how much I'm holding the distinction between when I recenter and re-enter first position.
Super.
Play with that.
This is a wizard skill, guys. This is a really like a sorcerer's skill, because you're using your attention to really hold space for these basic three things: your centering, your grounding, and your bubbling, while being in connection with others. So it's really like it's like a juggler's act, and at the same time it's like a also like a musician. Like when a musician is playing the guitar, and they have to do some movements on the left hand, and then some other movements in the right hand, and then they have to sing. For example, they're holding the space for three different things to happen at the same time. So this is like a skill that it doesn't just happen naturally. Of course, after a guitarist has been playing for a while, they can you go from C to G in no problem. Like it's so easy. But at first, when you're practicing this, like oh, like this hand, and then like moving each finger to the other hand, and so this is the cool thing about this practice is that there's so much to unfold. Imagine like equally as complex as mastering a guitar. So this is like the almost like the guitar, the playing the guitar of your attention.
Hmm.
And so it's like holding space for your center, noticing where your center is, for your grounding core, being aware that you actually have a grounding core and a connection that is there, and for your bubble space. And these are just the first three steps. If I give you the list of all the other steps after that, it's like it goes to like up to 30 steps or something like that. So then so I'm glad to hear your experimenting, Nicole, because it resonates with me. When I first started, it was just the center, just center, because that's all I could hold. I had no grounding, no bubble, just okay, my center, my center. And then I started adding like, now I'm experimenting with my grounding core. And then it was the center, grounding core, center, grounding core, center, grounding core. So I have a challenge for you that if you can do this while you are in relating with others, while you're having a conversation at the coffee shop or with your partner, or with a client, to notice where is your center, to notice where is your grounding core, to notice where is your bubble of space and what's happening there. Any sharings from Dominic or from Iñaki?
Hmm.
Iñaki, I would love to hear if you have something. How is it going for you?
Yeah, I've been writing a lot, as you can see, or anyone can see some drawings and everything. I can relate to this from past experience. When I was 13 years old, I was waiting for my mom at the gym, and suddenly Tai Chi instructor, we start talking, and since he has nobody to present, he told me like, "Hey, do you want to try it at least once?" And I was bored and said, "Yeah, why not?" He um, got my hands and put it in front of a tree and said, "Do you feel the energy?" And I was like, "No, I feel nothing." "Okay, let's train." We went there and practiced Tai Chi for an hour. And then he said, "Come here again. And do you feel the energy of the tree?" And I I swear I could feel the huge energy. And now that I hold my energy in my hands, I can feel it again. I know that it's real. Maybe sounds crazy for these modern times, but it has been there for ever, right? So putting it all together, getting your energy, put it inside you, and then pull it to the ground, the center of the earth, and then adding your bubble, the three things at a time, it's making me think, where can I take this? What is how can I make this work? Or what's the outcome of doing this? Not just being present, but what can I get from it, or how far can I get from it? So I'm thinking and doing it at the
Super.
same time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge.
Yeah, that's the question. That's a great question. Like what is this for? And and it will be interesting to see if it's a question from your mind or something, but you got the experience in your body. That is the experience that you can go like this, and you can feel your energy. You can sense your energy. You get that energy and you can place it in your body, and that is an experience. Like it doesn't matter if the world out there says believes it or not. You can feel it. You can sense it. So I want to move on for the next 30 minutes or so. I want to do an experiment of speaking your from your heart, speaking from your center. So I have the idea of going into groups of three. I don't know how it's gonna go with Skylar and Cam. So for the rest of us, we're gonna go in groups of three and go into a more intimate space of saying what comes up from your center, landing in your center, allowing yourself to be in the center, and it will be speaking from the unknown. You don't know exactly what you're gonna say. You're gonna allow your center to speak. So there's gonna be three people in the space. One person is gonna be speaking. The other person is going to be listening. It's gonna be the person that's listening to what's being spoken, and the other person is going to be a coach, somebody who is telling the person that is speaking, uh, kind of like giving them guidance to use your scanner to see if they are in their center. You're gonna scan and see what's happening are they holding their center? Where is their center? And to give them guidance. Say, you're in your head, or this is a story, or like you've already said this before, you have rehearsed this before. Whatever guidance you have for them that you tell them, like give them this coaching so that they can even like get even closer to getting into their center. And then we're gonna switch roles, and then we're all gonna have time to go through this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you'll be speaking from your center, from the unknown. I'm gonna make the breakout rooms. Here we go. Okay. Mm. So I'm gonna have a room with. I'm gonna make two rooms with three people, and then I'm gonna be going from one room to the other. Let me see if that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. So Yaki. Cool. Okay. And the other one is gonna be done. Here we go. Okay. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. So just click on the breakout rooms, and I'll see you back here in like 20 minutes.
How much time we have per each person?
It's gonna be about 5 minutes.
Okay, and will you give us
Yeah.
indication? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, I will send the messages. Thank you. Hey, Cam, are you there? Or Skylar?
All right,
Hey, hey.
I think.
Okay. How have you been following the talk? I didn't get from you.
Yeah, I slightly. It's a little bit choppy, but I'm ready to join a group.
Okay.
I am to
How
go
about
off for a second, but
how about we do it right here? Let's do it right here.
yeah.
Um, so will you get center? Is there a way that you can put your phone somewhere that that you don't have to hold it in your hands?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So getting into your center and into your first position, allow yourself to start speaking from there, to say what you want, to say what you care about.
I miss being centered. I miss being here and now, not just for myself, but those around me.
Yeah,
I'm
you miss being
fearful of
center.
myself towards my daughter and what needs to happen next.
Mhm.
I also need to learn how to feed the body properly.
Yeah, keep going. You're doing great. And yeah, notice if there is something that your center want to say, that you want to say from your center. Just
Come
keep
back,
letting that.
be present. I know you know how to do it. Just keep doing it. Getting choppy. Hold on a sec.
It's coming out okay here on this side. Okay. And yeah, keep speaking. There is one or two more minutes.
Breathe, stretch, move,
Yes, go.
extend your bubble, and do what you're born on this earth to do.
Would you say what you're feeling right now?
find those around you that are on similar paths. And just add as much energy into that, being better every day and every moment that I can. You can.
Would you say from your speak from your feelings? What are you feeling right now? Anger, sadness, fear, or joy? I feel
Let grief, let sadness come through. Don't hold it in. Be truthful and honest.
yeah. Would you do that
Keep
now?
using and keep moving. Just don't stop. Don't be stagnant.
Cool. There's 10 more seconds left. Okay, I'm gonna send a message. Thank you, Skylar. Yeah, so can you hear me?
Thank you.
Can you hear
Yeah.
me, Skylar? Yeah, the coaching that I have for you to get more in your center is yeah, to go into to start using your feelings to express your experience. And the way that that goes is like you feel what you're feeling and you say, I'm feeling, and there is gonna be one of the four: anger, sadness, fear, or joy. And then you start letting that, even before you know what it is about, you can say, I feel sad because, and then you let the sadness speak. You let the part of yourself speak. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, switch to the next person. I'm just sending a message for everybody to switch. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, and it's super. I could hear you that you're at an edge right now, and yeah, then the next part will be to bring it like even like closer to here and now, closer to this very small moment, like what is happening right now, what is happening right now, and to let that speak, let that be, let that express itself. All right, I'm going to move to another room.
Yep.
Uh, I'm gonna assign you to another room, and you can be observant there. Okay, I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I know there's been times that I've wanted to also, you know, do make these clear make the clear actions out of how I truly feel. And like you said, there's this thing, you know, since young, I guess, that we've been surrounded by not being able to not just not witnessing people around us speaking clearly, and it's yeah.
I will give you some coaching. Will you try it again, saying, instead of saying we have been, say I have been, and see how that is different in your system?
Okay, I have been around people who I haven't felt inspired, well, who I've witnessed haven't been speaking clearly from, yeah, their true self. Hmm.
Will you keep going and be the next person, and I will keep coaching you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm just curious. I'm thinking because I went off from like saying that I relate to you, and when I say that to people, then I guess I put us into this oneness.
Mm.
But this is now coming from I, so this is how I relate to you, and that's what you are, yeah, trying to help me gain awareness on
Did you
right now.
notice a difference when you said I than we?
Yeah, the energy is more scattered, and then when it's I, it's more, it's me, it's in my center.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have a question. Who is the listener? Who is the listener right now? Okay,
Me, I guess. Yeah, it's me.
so I have a coaching for you, Iñaki, that as you're a listener, that you use to like 90% of your attention to listen, that you don't have your notebook kind of like in between the space, that you put it down for a
Ah,
moment, just
okay.
just be with the person and listen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you. I mean, like we have 2 more minutes left, so keep going. Jackie, will you keep going, speaking from your center?
Okay. I am so what was coming up for me when I am in this space and I guess seeing you guys is that I am very um I am very uh I'm very oh my goodness.
Will you try?
It's because I have to find my center again because I was
Yeah.
thinking about like our interaction just then. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's down there. It's not up there.
Yeah.
See if you can like again like tap right into it and then let the speaking come from there.
Yeah, for sure. Mm.
You can't get it wrong. Just see what happens when you start saying something.
I know. I just have this thing now with being told, like I'm just processing I'm not in my center because
I wanna say something that is
mm,
there is the one of the things that I didn't set up the context for is the coaching modality that we can do here, and this is a space of rapid learning. These online spaces are a space of rapid learning, meaning that we use these spaces to kind of like trigger ourselves and trigger these parts that what I hear you coming up from you is that somebody is telling you like you're being told and
mhm,
it's triggering this part of you and that's um yeah, so in the modality that we're working here is like you get the coach who is coaching you and there is a beep. So the beep is when something is not working. When there is the coach is noticing something that is not working and then it's a beep and then it gives the coaching. Will you try this? That this is not working. Will you try this? And then the next part is like chief, go. So you move to the next part to keep you integrate the coaching and then you keep trying. You try it again. Uh, and yeah, what I'm hearing from you, Jackie, that's happening is that there is something being triggered that you're being told.
Well, because I think I was in, well, maybe if my center got shifted like pretty quickly from because I was in a space of there, and then I guess my bubble went into the we, which is like my energy went out, and then and then I was being told without context, and then so it felt like, and then I said the I, but then I went back into here, but then my mind, the energy shifted up to my mind of like why and then it went and then so I'm trying to do as you say, which is kind of actually giving away my authority in a little bit in this moment, and so I'm trying to reclaim my space, and so it doesn't feel like the joyous space that I was in before when I started this space, entered this room, and I was so joyful to see you both, and my heart wanted to say it felt like a reunion. Like I really felt like there was something really special about like you two, like the souls that I was seeing. And so yeah, that is why my center just got shifted and I felt like I had to be someone different than I was in that moment. And then it triggered, I guess, yeah, it triggered my center. Well, my center being off triggered all of these things. And so yeah,
Super. Yeah, so
that's
that will be the goal. This is the
Fast.
goal of this space that this is probably happening in other parts of your life,
mm.
in other ways, in different ways.
Yeah, for sure. And I think
Awesome.
because I'm so always like ready when I hit that joyful space, because I am like a space holder of joy, but like remaining centered in that, right? Because in that moment when I wasn't, I was having that that joy kind of, it was too, the energy dispersed. like the energy was basically like too big for me to hold my center in that moment, or I'm not practiced enough right now to call it back into to remain centered and then neutral and then continue. So but now I feel like I am speaking from my heart. Like it feels like my heart is back here. Yeah, my center is here.
Super.
So yeah, I
Okay.
guess that's why I was like, I want to say what I wanted to say before, but that's not where I am in the present moment. And so yeah, thank you. I had to speak from the present moment, which was clarity on why, yeah, on I just clarity on my state. Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right. I'll say let's switch to the next person. Who will go next?
That's me.
Okay. So you guys go ahead. I'm gonna message. Okay, will you get started, Iñaki? I'm gonna send a message to everyone,
Sure.
and then I'm gonna switch rooms.
Okay, perfect. Talking about my center, I feel so powerful. I've been practicing self-improvement since I was 20. It's been 17 years now, and my goal every day.
Talking.
Who is speaking now? Hey, okay, go, Dominic.
Hold on. I think my audio just.
We can hear you.
Maybe he's not hearing us.
Can you hear us?
Man. What I had.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. You have 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
What's happening right now, Dominic, that you're not speaking yet?
Well, my sister's sleeping in the next room and my headphones disconnected when you join the channel for some reason. But I think it's going to be okay.
Okay, we can hear you fine.
Yeah.
And the image is fine too.
My
Everything's
phone is
good.
shutting down.
Okay, will somebody, Dom, do you need a bit of time to get that set up and then we can get back to you?
So Lori and I spoke, and I think it's Skylar.
Skylar?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
think-
already work with Skylar.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've already gone.
Okay. Okay, super.
To me, I'm already feeling it's much easier to be the coach and the listener than the one that speaks from the center.
Oh,
We-
I want to hear how it went.
It was
Oh, it looks like he dropped.
it was really good for me. I felt though, Jorge, like I never speak with my eyes closed, and I pretty much the whole time I was speaking, my eyes were closed. And then I would open my eyes and I would see these two here with me in this moment, and I felt some warm arms come around me. And that's what I would open my eyes because I would see the two of them, and I felt in that moment like I knew these people from who knows where. It wasn't like they were strangers at all for me. But it did take me out of my comfort zone in that moment to not go and be a bit into the future.
Yeah.
But I was able to bring myself right back. I think I did that pretty good, Svetlana, right? Like, because she guided me with her coaching and it
Super.
brought me right back. So I thank you for that. That's really powerful.
Super. Yeah, this is the purpose of these training spaces is rapid learning. So you
Right.
get to get closer to the thing that is happening in your life while being witness, while having a coach, and then yeah, you get like these things that are so clear, and then the learning just happens so much. It's a fast learning space.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay, I'm sad that Dominic left. I don't know if you had a
You must
um, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I would like to speak from my center for 1 minute and 11 seconds, and you guys can give me coaching.
Mhm.
I feel scared about the stiffness that I bring into the spaces, and I feel scared because I have like as I'm working in this edge of being a space holder and being a partner and somebody who is a space holder for life, really for life to happen. I keep hearing from women and from yeah, mostly from the women that that is these stories that men are too caught up in their own shit, and the men are now very good space holders. So I noticed that like I carry a lot of that, and like I'm processing a lot of that, which is it's helping awakening something inside of me that is sleeping, it's in a slumber of being in a habitual way of relating with the world, and is yeah, right now I mean that's kind of like the space where I am at, of wanting to be of service and not wanting to give my center to others, and like how do I become more alive? How do I become like authentically alive, and where yeah, where like all of my programming is not getting in the way of what I'm here to bring. It's like, is there even anything that I have to bring? Like, right now is so much of it is in question. So that was my 1 minute.
Thank you for sharing, Harker. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to get us all back into the main room for the last 15 minutes of and for sharing.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Close the doors. And is it closing? Did you
Yeah,
get a
it's
notification?
closing. Yeah.
Okay.
Notice. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll see you in the main room. What happened, Dom? You didn't have a time to share.
Yeah, my phone died. Ran out of batteries. I thought I was plugged in, but apparently it wasn't.
Okay. Okay. So we're waiting just for the other ones to join the room. So Dominic, that will be feedback for you about what's happening for you in your life in terms of your center. Something about technology, something about I don't know what stopped you from using those 5 minutes that you have for sharing. You didn't share anything, so that will be feedback about. I wanted to hear you. I miss you. I wanted to hear what you wanted to say. What does Dominic Center sound like? Uh, awesome. So welcome everyone back into the space. From the spaces that I visited, I'm so glad that we went into those spaces, that these experiments are happening. I saw so much aliveness, and really getting to see the power of working in these spaces of practicing something, getting triggered, getting coaching, and and getting to that edge where it's okay. Like this is a space of making mistakes. This is a space of messing up, a space of practice. And and it, and you start getting, I saw that for everyone from what I've seen is that you're getting closer to seeing where your center is at. Where is your center? How is your center going away from you in different situations? So I would like to hear from you how it was for you. What did you discover in this experiment? What did you find out? What was something new?
I thought it was interesting how I from my perspective, I saw that each person is unique, and each person might have a tendency to have their energy center drift off in different parts, depending on who they are. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Mhm. Like I felt for mine because I'm a really
Yeah,
empathetic person, right? I went from saying I and claiming, like, being in my like sovereign center and being grounded. I said we, and like that energy I felt like was like it went it kind of like it left my energy center like left, and then I didn't know how to reclaim it because I wanted to go back into that space before and not in the present moment. And so this is another thing that I kind of, I guess, made a mistake at learning on, where I wanted to hold on to the past of like what I was going to say, but really my energy center right now wanted to express um that that yeah, I was still um how do I say that that there was discomfort because because I felt like I wasn't expressing who I truly was in that present moment had I just like spoken about my past self or not vocalized. That's where where my heart space was at. So yeah, and then I noticed just in observing other people that sometimes it went up to the mind a bit, like I just saw it go up and then come back down, and then maybe drift off like the center. But for the most part, it was really beautiful to be able to witness when it was authentic from the center, because you could truly feel that that person was in themselves and speaking authentically without fear of, I guess, these fear of oppression or judge, like, yeah, without fear, I guess. So yeah, I think that was cool.
thank you. I want to say something about this, Jackie, that, yeah, it's so, uh, the way that I've discovered that you can reclaim your center back more easily and more readily is through anger work. This is what I discovered for myself. Like it's just getting angry, like getting so angry consciously, not just like out of like the spurs of the moment, but like actually like practicing your anger more consciously. And this will be, yeah, with the purpose of reclaiming your center, like starting practicing your anger consciously. And this is what allows the energy from being dispersed out there to like getting back in, like you need like a certain percentage of anger to hold your center in its place. And if it's not a practice anger, if it's a reactive anger or emotional anger, then it shoots out like rays out there, like like the energy doesn't stay contained. You can not use your anger to contain the energy, but it gets kind of like into blaming, into like shooting out to others, into like making stories about others, whatever, like in the many ways that your anger might shoot out.
It goes inside too, beating yourself up and
Yeah,
telling yourself that you're a bad person or you did something wrong.
yeah.
Mm.
And this was for me, it's been a practice of 2 years, 2 or 3 years, and it really, I've seen the evolution of it from going into like beating myself up, like I'm horrible, like, oh, I'm fucking up, I'm doing it wrong. Uh, then to like actually using my anger to like, oh, like I can just use my anger to be here. I'm receiving the feedback, getting the
Mm.
information, and I'm not getting hooked to my own stories or any other stories or something that I'm doing wrong or giving my authority to somebody else, but I'm using that to, it's like a,
And it was a new feeling for me because my heart wanted to consciously express that. But for me, I'm so used to maintaining this bubble of, well, maintaining an empathetic, like joyful presence always. And you're right, it does come out reactionary, right? Like if it's not consciously, um, because it needs to be, well, not needs to be, but it is where the center is at the moment for that person like myself, then where it's like conscious in my heart there was you know, something here in the center that needed to be expressed, and it wasn't joy. But I'm so
yeah.
used to like only speaking when it's joy, or only waiting to speak when it's joy, or only being, you know, within these like narratives or stories that you have to do these things, right? Like when, yeah, and I think that came up a lot as well, like, you know, with the inauthenticity of, I guess, not being, yeah, from the center. Well, for me, my heart, but yeah, I guess the center. Mhm. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
so I recognize it's not a thing that I think is very common that I hear, that I don't know, that I know people can do, which is consciously feel like and authentically express anger, I guess you could call it. It's even weird for me to say that.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Nick,
I would distinguish too that conscious anger, using anger consciously, is about using it also responsibly. It's not about just, yeah, letting it fly. That's not, it's
That's
different.
the difficult part.
I know I'm angry and I'm saying these things and doing these things. It's more than just knowing you're angry. It's using your anger, the energy and information of your anger and feeling it so that you can use it consciously and responsibly.
Nicole is a legend of holding space for anger practices. There is a practice called 333, and you practice for 3 months, 3 times a week for 3 minutes, conscious anger. So you practice, yeah, for 3 minutes, 3 times a week for 3 months, laying down on the bed and like getting angry with all of your body, with your voice, with your hands, with all of your body. And then after those 3 minutes, you stop. And this is an initiation called the 333, and it's what one of the other things. It was like first position combined with the 333 practice is like it's just like I can breathe more into my being. I can take more space. I can feel my anger. I can feel my sadness. I can be alive inside of those things, and and then my anger started becoming more and more conscious. So it's like a super awesome journey. So if you want to know more about that, let me know, because there is groups online that they're studying all the time their 3 month practice, and it's legendary. There's so many legends coming out of there. I don't have enough time to go into that right now. Oh,
And I haven't even been doing this for, I think, 3 months. I just finished the Rage Club in November, I think. But even that period of time that I was doing this, I've like the last month, right? Like you said, centering plus this anger, I've expressed things to people that I would never thought that I would be able to like get the courage or, you know, to say. And yeah, it took me like I would literally sitting for hours with this or days, but then after these practices, there was something, okay, I'm ready.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Amazing.
And to share from this just right now, I started speaking from my center, and I started just like feeling what I was feeling at the moment. And I was looking at Dom, who was in my group, and just talking, and it was like this flow. And then there was something like this moment I went into my mind, and an episode from the past came, I think something related to what I was talking, and then I dropped into the past. And then Dom, I think he was asked me something as a coach or brought me back. And so I kind of realized how, yeah, you go in this flow. And then for me, it was the past, this episode, like this, like a, uh, like the shooting star. And then, I went into my mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Anybody else would like to share their experience? How it was what did you learn from this? What do you discover?
Well, I want to share that um, it gave me a new perspective and new guidance of what can I do with my power, because I know that I am powerful, but I didn't knew at the time what to do with it, right? I can go and make it happen, but what else can I do? Or how can I train that for myself and not just for the exterior? Uh, so now I'm gonna focus on um, putting my attention in my center, and then grounding, grounding it, and then holding it with my bubble at the same time, and let's see what happened, right? Um, I know that it's gonna be good. I know I have that feeling, uh, and yeah, I'm very positive of this.
Awesome. Keep reporting, Iñaki. Let us know how it goes. Yeah, let me know how it goes.
Thank you.
Mm. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to share. I think I discovered how difficult, or much more difficult, it is to stay centered and speak, especially in relation to someone, focusing on someone, than it is just listening. And I've kind of known that, but I feel like I get to like really see myself get immediately pulled out of my center. And so moving forward, I'm excited now to practice this all the time, of speaking while being centered. So I look forward to doing that a whole bunch. That's about it.
Yeah. Dom, you Dominic, you spoke from your center. I feel glad about that. I heard your center speaking. Uh, so for next steps, what goes on from here? What happens from here? There are spaces of practice like this that happen every week, pretty much every day. Other space holders that are holding space for people to come together and relate from a place of being centered. There is training spaces, there is practice spaces, there is even like relating spaces. There is this thing, and I want to tell you about a few of them. There is this one called the Heart Gym, which is a place that happens every day of the week from Monday to Friday, and I will send you the details about this. But the space is a space where people come together for 30 minutes to speak from their hearts. They go, and there is a prompt about speaking from your heart. There is a space holder and a listener, or a space holder and a speaker, and then that space happens. And it's really this space of practice where you can get exactly what you got here tonight. This space where you get triggered, or you get coaching and you get triggered, or you want to know what more is there, and you get to practice this, and it's a form of feeding your soul. This is a form of food that you don't get anywhere else in the world. Right now out there, you don't get it by talking to your bestie on the phone, or to your best friend in the phone. is really a space of being in this edge of with others, meeting in first position, or meeting in your center, in a place where it's okay to feel, where it's okay, it's not just okay to feel, it's the feeling is the source of the space, or the food of the space. So just like you have a physical body that needs food, you also have an emotional body that also needs a kind of food. And these kind of spaces, they feed that body, they feed your emotional body. So I invite you to look at some of these spaces, which I'm gonna send to you in email. There is also possibility teams online and in person that are also spaces for getting into first position, and even like just before that, just like getting possibilities about stuff, about anything in your that you want possibilities about. And I just want to say that we're at 8 o'clock, so this is the officially the time of finish. I'm going to stay here for a few more minutes. If you need to go now, you're welcome to go. I just want to tell you a bit about, I'm gonna say a few more spaces and stay in case anybody has any questions. I'll be here for that.
Thank you,
So
Jorge. I'm gonna go. Thank you very much.
thank you, Svelana. All
Also
right,
gonna
bye
go.
for now. All right,
Bye.
thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.
Glad to meet you.
Thank you,
All
guys.
righty.
Really
Thanks a
appreciate
lot.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Nicole.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Sweet. So I wanna, yeah, if you're, I just want to tell you about that there is a possibility teams, and there is something called a Rage Club, which is a space, a journey for practicing rage and your anger. Uh, so there is this awesome, really nourishing spaces that are right on the edge. And if you're interested in that, I'm gonna send that on the email, and you can look it up more. Was there any
Yes,
questions
please.
that you guys had? Was there anything that you guys had that you wanted to ask about, or
I have a
what you're here
question.
for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a question. Where is it? Yeah. What happened when you are center grounded and in your bubble, but people you care feel that you are being careless?
Could you say that again? People you care?
The people you care, let's say that I am having a tough conversation with somebody that I really care,
Yeah.
and they are getting a little upset or overwhelmed with their feelings, and I am centered and grounded and in my bubble, that they feel that I am not engaging or I am careless of their feelings because I'm not getting into the conversation.
Yes. Yes. Super that. I mean, that's a big question, because it is like about seeing what is happening for you, what is happening, because there is your experience and there is the other person's experience,
Mhm.
and there is also the thing that is in the middle, which is what you are creating together, your relating space.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, when you say you're not getting into it, you're not. What I would imagine is that you're not uh, basically mimicking or like getting worked up like they're getting worked up. But if you feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you feel like you are centered and you are grounded, do you what what responses arise from your center? Like, because do you feel compassion, or I'm wondering if it's like this neutrality where you feel like you're not showing that you're caring because you're not reacting, but are you not responding as well, or are you also responding? I'm just wondering.
Um, could be like not engaging with the same emotions or feeling.
Hmm.
It's more like trying to be more objective of the problem instead of
But objective to me
blaming
feels
or
like it's in the mind though, because I've had
Yeah.
this,
Mhm.
yeah, it feels like it's more in the mind, whereas because I've had different experiences and
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
I haven't, um, so I actually had this conversation with a good friend like really recently too, where it's like, you know, we were talking about being present and even though that you like, you know, if something is being worked up in someone and you're not like overly extending your energy like bubble to them, there is still a thing to be aware of, that you can still care and not react, but that caring is still a response. Whereas me before, when I used to like not engage with people and just observe them being all dramatic and whatnot, it would come across as not caring. But for me, I just justified it as that I wasn't engaging in their fear or their anger, right? I wasn't taking it on. But to me, I realize now that actually maybe I wasn't also responding from my heart, but I was just kind of being like, you know, this. Whereas I feel like now that I'm learning, it is possible to actually care, and it takes, you know, it's coming out of that objective mind or that neutral, like I'm not engaging, into that space maybe you're mentioning about, Jorge, which is relating, you know. And so there, I think there's a lot to explore really, like
Like acknowledging the other person instead of like getting away from their feelings and looking into the problem. It's acknowledging their
but
So
feelings
I
and
wanna,
letting them know. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
I
it
wanna,
feels like responding from the heart, because acknowledging seems like this like protocol that you have to do to make them feel better. But
yeah.
I feel like there can be any, I don't know, this, it feels like there is work in the, when, if you are centered, there is an authentic way of expressing that could be anything. It could be acknowledgement or it could be anything, but I don't know, like maybe they will pick up. It's obviously up to them. Like no one can control how someone else reacts, but
Yeah.
I feel like
So what I'm
uh,
hearing Iñaki saying is that you're not like there is that you're not completing their communication. Like there is a communication that is being sent, and there is a way that you're not energetically completing it. They're saying something, there, yeah, and it's emotional, and it might be even like attacking you or like attacking something, and it feels like this, like So there is some tools that you can use for that, for staying grounded and staying bubble and staying center. Uh, and so yeah, like Jackie's saying, there's a lot to explore in there.
Mhm.
So it will be like getting into a space where you can practice that, where you can like
Mhm.
role play that, and then you can get to see like, oh, like try this, try that. And also there is a, I don't want to go too long onto this because it's a big question, but
Yeah.
it is like the, yeah, like staying centered and grounded, but at the same time you can complete their communication. And I can send you a few resources about this. We won't have enough time to
Oh,
practice
please.
this, but it
Yeah.
is like the communication that is being sent to you. If it, because if it's not being completed, it's probably happening over and over again. Like
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
communication happens, then breaks down happen, and then it happens again, and then it happens again. So like find
Yeah.
out what is the communication that is being that hasn't been completed.
can,
Uh,
can you send me the resources as well? I have this a
yeah,
lot with my mom. It's ongoing for years.
with your mom, super, super. I'm just I'm just connecting
And
with
it's
my
like a
parents.
loop because, you know,
Yeah,
before I would remain not engaged or rather like try to be present, but I realized I wasn't, like you said, completing that communication back. So it's
yeah,
like, it's just looping from her and it gets more and more like that.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it happens again and again.
you gotta be really aware that a lot the full context, the mainstream culture context, it has the purpose of being right. One of the purposes is
Mm,
being right or being wrong. So like me being right and then telling the others that they're wrong, or the other way around. Like me being wrong and oh the other ones are right. And this is like a part of the unconscious programming of modern culture. So you gotta watch out, like, what kind of conversation am I in right now? Am I trying to prove myself right and my mother wrong?
Mm.
Or are we having another kind of conversation that is beyond being right and wrong? Because there is many other kinds of conversations and possibilities other than being right and wrong.
Is
So
there a
that
point, though, where there must be a point where you are depleted of being able to draw from resources and you have to leave? Or I mean, does it get down to that? Or from your personal opinion, do you believe that if we keep practicing, like, do you believe that it's possible to stay completely centered, like not in spite, and still be and still complete the communication when someone is really, really like I'm, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, basically, if someone is like that.
I
uh,
yes. I
okay.
didn't think so before, but yes,
That's
totally. Like,
beautiful.
and like without sweating. But but it will take some serious, it takes some serious practice and like some serious, yeah, like going through shed, going through the shed. And but it does. It
Okay.
is possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
like if you have your bubble clear about your bubble, then you're not letting that, it's not yours. Like, it's their shed. And if you have your
Hmm.
clear boundaries, it's their shed. There is
Mm,
no way for that shed to come into your space because
Hmm.
you have cultivated your bubble, and it's nothing wrong about it. There is not, it's not like they're that you're bad or that, I don't know, like, it's just your boundary. Like, oh, I see that you have some shit. Yeah, bring it. Bring your shit. Yeah, I fucked up. I am a terrible person, or I don't know, whatever it is. Like, I am. You can complete the communication even though it's knowing that it's not about you. But it is a practice. I
mm,
mean, it is a practice thing.
yeah.
So I will send you the resources, and I do workshops about this. The last workshop that I did about it was pretty much about completing communication because it's so big, so big.
Mhm.
And
Thank you.
the
I want to
result,
be there. I want to be there.
awesome.
Please.
Yeah, the result that it creates is that it creates communication happening. There is not just like being right and this unconscious thing about like me talking, you talking. It's not just like two TVs playing their own programming, but there is actually communication is happening.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions before we close this space? One last question. One more question.
Mm. Okay, with the energy bubble. um, um, yes, is it um, is it something that you have experienced in terms of when you feel your aura or your energy bubble, that um, you also have to practice things to, I don't know what's the word.
Like,
Do you have to practice allowing, you have to practice consciously allowing what can enter and what cannot enter, like that? Or like, so yeah, have you experienced playing around with that, with the energy field, and like what can permeate and what can leave?
will you give me like will you use an example
Yeah, for
like that?
sure. Yeah, I'm curious because
What's happening for you that where
so if
that's
we
a
have
problem?
yeah, if we have a if I if I have an energy bubble and I know it exists, right? And other people and other beings see that it exists. Um, they be able to play around with it? Like, because I know in a lot of spiritual practices, like they talk about like, protecting or shielding like your bubble because like people might see it and then they might want to mess around with it. So I'm curious if that is something that you have come across with, that you need to like kind of like put an intentional like, yeah, like barrier around your boundaries, like so that you can allow things in and out. Because I know when we like made like when we felt our aura or energy bubble, that was
Hmm.
kind of like, the baseline feeling. But can
Well,
does your work go beyond that?
it
With
reminds me of the evolution of a caterpillar to a butterfly, or even the evolution from being a baby to being a baby chicken in the egg. And when the baby chicken is in the egg, the shell is really hard,
Mm.
so so that nothing gets in there, like no bacteria, no nothing, like there's no viruses that can get in there, but it's like a sealed thing. And then when the chicken is ready to come out, it just like breaks out through all of the hard stuff.
Mm.
And then it comes out into the world, and again, like it's another layer of vulnerability, but the chicken doesn't need that layer anymore. So in the work that I do, we start with boundaries, with setting boundaries. And this is like, I'm not gonna look at a woman's eyes for 1 year. I'm not gonna allow anybody to step all over me. And it could be more specific than that. Like, I'm not gonna let my mother um, guilt trip me for not calling her. And then he started like, what is anger work? This is all anger work. This is like really using your anger to take other people's energy outside of your bubble. And of course, it's not just anger, but the anger is like the activator. The anger is the thing that moves the actions. And then it comes the other feelings, the grief about it, the sadness about it, the fear about it.
Let
But
it flow.
yeah, but it's that thing about like pushing away is that anger work first. And so it's the boundary. So the boundary work is that layer that there's a wall. Like, hey, there is a wall here. There's a boundary. And then after the boundary work is you start working with something that is called distinctions. And a distinction it's a higher technology than boundaries. And in a distinction, it is more like Aikido. Like you don't have to have a boundary. You can just have a distinction, and then you have a distinction between who you are and what the other person is, and then it allows you to be like more in relating, where the boundary is more like a blocking. Like, yeah, nothing gets in, but the distinction is something where you can use your distinctions to help the other person evolve, or help like you go into your own evolutionary path.
The distinctions
I
remind
like
me.
that.
Oh,
Hold on. What's that, Jackie?
oh, just that when you described the distinctions, it reminded me of like putting on role playing or archetypes, or like how we like like the character that we are, and that's more fluid. Is that kind of what you mean? Like, how am I distinct? Like how we distinctly like different.
Yeah, like the distinction of like, okay, those are your feelings, these are my feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
And
it.
like there is no need to like mix it up and like to play that game.
Sorry to
Okay.
interrupt, guys. I gotta go.
Vale,
Jorge, it's been a
Iñaki,
pleasure again.
thank you.
Let's meet again and let's talk about it because it's super, super interesting. And Jackie, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Thank you,
meet
Wish you
you.
the
Iñaki.
best. Hope
I'll
to
see you,
connect
man.
again with
Yes.
both.
Cheers.
Thank you. Take
Good
Okay.
care.
luck to everybody.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
you too.
Bye.
Okay. We're gonna close this space
Okay.
now. Thank you everyone for hanging around. If you have any more questions, send me a message. Yeah,
Great.
I'll be here.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.